Directed by Jordan Peele, the movie Nope is a science fiction film about an alien invasion. But it's the characters and how they react to the presence of a UFO that makes this movie unique. This movie is also part of the Western genre in which a quiet gunslinger saves the townsfolk from a violent threat. But in this case, the threat is a UFO. Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer play siblings, Otis Jr. and Emerald, who work on their father's horse ranch. This family has generational ties to the film industry. They train horses for Hollywood productions. They're the animal handlers on movie sets. Their skill with horses turns out to be pivotal to their survival when it's revealed what the UFO turns out to be. Nope is marketed as science fiction horror, but I regard it as a monster movie with science fiction elements and not as horror per se. Although it might depend on which monster we're talking about, because there are two of them in this movie. The scary monster, in my view, is the one we're more likely to encounter, so it's not the monster from outer space, which is just VFX, creature effects. This movie has a Hollywood setting, as I mentioned. Hollywood movies and shows often feature the animal kingdom, in which human actors share scenes with wild animals that allegedly are domesticated. It could be dangerous for the actors to interact with wild animals. This movie, Nope, is set on a horse ranch outside Hollywood, where the UFO first makes its appearance. It kills the father of the siblings right away. Not with alien weapons, but by flinging a piece of metal that it tried to ingest and spat out. That piece of metal hit the father and became buried in his skull. That's how he died. This happens early in the movie, so right away the movie shows us how commonplace events are just as dangerous as invasions from outer space. Daniel Kaluuya is the protagonist, Otis Jr., a sensational performance from this actor. He plays the role like Wyatt Earp, but in this case, he's not a gunslinger. He's a person with knowledge who uses the knowledge like a weapon. There's no overt violence in any of his actions or from any of our heroes. He observes that the UFO behaves like an animal in the wild. It's territorial. It hunts for food. It views direct eye contact as a challenge, unlike human beings. Through elaborate means, Otis Jr. manages to lasso the UFO, so to speak, although it's extremely violent and dangerous, like an animal in the wild. Steven Yeun has a supporting role as Ricky, a neighbor who operates an amusement park with a Western theme. He's a former child star of a sitcom about a family that owned a chimpanzee named Gordy. In a flashback, it's revealed that Gordy went nuts and attacked everybody on set, except for Ricky. This movie Nope shows us that Ricky, for all these years since the attack, has regarded the chimpanzee as benevolent for sparing his life. As a result, that's how he views the UFO. Ricky as well recognizes that the UFO behaves like a wild animal, and he's convinced the UFO will spare his life because of what happened with Gordy years ago. He believes he has a special bond with animals and is specially protected even when everybody around him is being slaughtered. This movie shows us how our actions, especially in response to the unknown, might be driven by emotion rather than facts. I recommend this movie. It reminded me of Spielberg. The way it's shot is like a Spielberg summer blockbuster, a mashup between Close Encounters and Jurassic Park, but with the Jordan Peele fear factor. Jordan Peele is a great director, and he really knows how to cast a movie. Speaking of which, I just want to discuss a news item about layoffs at Disney. Nope isn't a Disney film, incidentally. It's Universal Pictures. But we've all heard by now that Disney is laying off hundreds in their TV and film divisions to focus on streaming. And I view this as largely an infrastructure play. Audiences are moving off cable TV and going to streaming. I believe that's what this is. For a while now, for years in fact, studios were wondering if audiences would be willing at all to watch TV on the internet rather than watching TV on the TV. And yes, audiences are willing, so the growth of streaming is aligned with the growth of consumer use of the internet, especially for entertainment. The layoffs at Disney included a couple of casting directors, but it seems that they had advance notice and were already shopping their resumes around, so they'll land on their feet. I also wanted to discuss the marketing divisions for TV and film, which were impacted by the layoffs as well. The TV layoffs, we can understand to be part of the infrastructure issue, but the layoffs in film marketing, I would guess, are tied to results. I'll use just one example. It's for a movie I haven't watched yet, the live-action Snow White. Apparently, the results have been disappointing. I remember an early image that was released. It was supposed to generate buzz. The movie image showed the Wicked Queen towering over Snow White. It was designed to strike fear. With that being said, Grimm's fairy tales, the original fairy tales, are known to be gruesome, and the fear aspect was used to keep children in line in the 19th century and earlier. That's a fact. Fairy tales do serve as a warning system for children. They illustrate what could happen. But generally speaking, Disney movies aren't designed to strike that level of fear. So in hindsight, it seems there were marketing folks working on Snow White that probably would rather have worked on Nosferatu or Sinners. So maybe the layoffs were designed to move those folks to where they could be useful. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe.